It's a shabby, it's a shabby, shabby show. It's a shabby, it's a shabby.
All right, welcome everybody to a special episode of the Jank Tank, subtitle How's Your Goat Game? It's been a long hiatus since Buzz and I have jumped into the tank. Busy lives, busy work and family schedules. But there is something new on the scene, brand new, and it's already making a splash, both competitively and in the kind of more janky circles. And we're really excited to talk with you about it today. But first, Buzz, how are you doing?
Man, I've been good. School year was tough. I mean, we're both in education. We both have kids that go to school. And I haven't played Thrones in way too long. But we made it to summer. We jammed in some beach time, and now we're back ready to play some cards. So I'm feeling good about that.
Great, yeah, I hear you. I've been camping. We've been on the beach a lot. The one thing about being a teacher is normally you'd say, summer is a great time. It's open, no work. But it's also the time where I just watch my kids all day because they're also not in school.
It's a different type of work.
Yeah, in many ways I'm more busy. Because like any good parent, the activity schedule is jam-packed. In fact, we're gonna go do like 3 hours of this coding thing in a little bit after lunch. So, like every day is just jam-packed. So yeah, this episode should find the public very quickly after some of these big tournaments in which Qohor has made a splash. So I'm not sure exactly what day we'll air, but this week, today's the 10th, and hopefully we'll have it up by either tomorrow or the next day, so as not to conflict with the Second Sons, which are going live tonight. But we're definitely getting in under them. I don't think we're talking about Qohor a lot on Second Son, so I'm excited. Let's jump right into it. Trading with the Qohor is a really interesting agenda. I'll read it out just for those who don't know. First, it's neutral. It is a banner, which is one of the most intriguing parts about this.
It's everything.
Yeah, it makes all the difference. It says, while you control no attachments, increase the gold value on each opponent's revealed plot card by 1. Oh, thank you. It is on the newest. It is part of the newest chapter pack, the March on Winterfell.
I'll just be live unboxing it right now. As
ooh, yeah, pull it out.
Now,
Lyman.
You could see him in the future.
Let's talk about that drawback first. Do you think the drawback is a reason not to play this agenda?
I don't think it's a reason not to play the agenda. Like if you look at like 1 gold is a lot. We obviously don't want to give your opponent too much stuff. But like the winter and summer agendas are basically unplayable because that's the bonus they give you, and it's just not that much.
Right.
So like it's more significant, I would say, certainly than the drawback on Wars to Come, or probably even on Reigns. But I wouldn't say like.
Wait, did you say the drawback on Wars to Come? Was it, I must have missed that text.
You can't cycle your Valor for 10 plus. You have to play one of your other 4 Valors.
Unless you're playing Martell, you can go pretty quick to him then.
No, that's true. I know that's a little tongue in cheek, but I like agendas personally with a high upside and a downside that you must mitigate. I think it pushes creative deck building, and that's what we're all about here at the Jank Tank. So the Qohor, trading with the Qohor is my kind of agenda. I'm really excited for Florian, who's been a great player for a long time, won a great tournament, and now has given me a great card to play with. I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, I agree. I think the drawback is not something that shies the creative deck builder away from this, especially with economy being kind of so readily available for almost every faction now. You don't want to give them that 1 gold early game, so that's kind of, I think, where it comes in, and that's when you're least likely to have that attachment. But if you build your deck with this agenda in mind, which of course you'll be doing, why else would you be playing it? You're probably setting up an attachment. Most cases you will be, or else you're just not running enough and not taking advantage of the agenda. And if you're not, by turn 1 you've got it. So maybe turn 1, if you're going second, you give your opponent that 1 extra gold. But I really feel like you should be avoiding that drawback if you're playing this correctly.
If anything, like you say, it skews you a bit towards cheap positive attachments that you can set up yourself.
Right.
Which I like positive attachments, and they've needed a boost. So I'm not mad at that at all. And obviously, spoiler alert, this deck type has seen some tournament success already. So I don't think the downside's crippling
Good.
really at all.
I think we agree. All right, let's talk about the reaction. You know, what it actually does. Reaction, after claim is applied for a challenge you won, sacrifice an attachment to search your deck for a different attachment with equal or lower printed cost and put it into play. It's elegant. It sounds a little complicated, but every little bit of this reaction matters. The place where it jumps into the challenge, right after claim is applied. So right after that C in duck, but before keywords, that is key, right? That's so interesting.
That's a big deal. I like to kind of think like, why? That's a weird timing spot. So then you think, why is that the case? And I feel like probably it was only so that you couldn't search for ice and make your military challenges just really brutal.
It would be crazy if you could do like react with an attachment and then search for another attachment and then continue the double reaction. That would be a little bit broken.
Yeah, I think moving it down past claim is nice, and then because it's a reaction to claim, then you can only win as the attacker.
Right.
So that's another thing about the agenda, is it rewards aggressive play rather than passive play, which I think is something that the game needs a little bit more.
I like that it does give us that one window, though, for keywords, right? It allows attachments to confer interesting keywords like intimidate.
Like Nymeria out of Stark to give that intimidate, which is really nice. I think a wolf swappy deck could be a lot of fun.
Right, and off like you can jump in the intimidate, and maybe that intimidate is just what you needed to then get through the ice, right, or the other attachment. So just because you can't just grab ice and immediately use it. You can, grab ice and then use it on the next challenge if that first one sets you up. Yeah,
and that's great, and that gives your opponent a little bit of time for counterplay as well, and you get your renown in time also, which can be big. Now, insight if you have an attachment that grants that. So, it's a good timing window, I think.
Yeah. Now, why do you think we've got this little bit of text that says search your deck for a different attachment? That feels like a playtesting ad. Like someone chaining Seal of the Hands.
Seal of the Hand was one that would jump to mind. That's really the only one off the top of my head. But any kneel to use attachment would obviously come in standing, and so again, like I can't think of one.
The catapult.
Seal.
Maybe the catapult.
The catapult.
Catapult chain. Oh no, you have to win on defense to use the catapult. I think.
Yeah.
I think. Maybe. I don't remember. I think you have to win on defense to use a catapult, which would make it useless anyways. Or at least something that they could still play around.
Yeah, I think it also rewards you, whether on purpose or by accident, for running a variety of attachments in your deck rather than just 3x of the 3 or 4 best attachments. Right. This rewards a lot of 1 or 2x.
You can't just run the Isle of Ravens and cycle the same attachment every challenge phase, right? That would get a little silly. You're going to be swapping in different ones every round, so that makes it a little bit more interesting, I think. Yeah, and finally, we can just say thank you to Florian Maas for designing the GOAT. It's
the GOAT,
right? It's trading with Qohor, which I like. Obviously, we think about the most famous Qohoric of them all, the Black Goat himself, Vargo Hoat. So it's I kind of feel like there's a missed opportunity to not make this more Hotish, this agenda. It feels a little more generally connected to the Qohor, but he's really our only significant connection to them in the books. But maybe we're going to see something else with Vargo.
He seems a little bit like a Qohoric exile, and this is trading with Qohor, the city.
Right.
I like the lore in this game and kind of the world behind it, and so exploring a corner of it that we haven't seen so much is nice.
Could be cool.
I don't really know what Qohor has to do with attachments in terms of the world building, but the trading aspect that you're sending something out to get something back, I definitely enjoy.
Vargo was, he was a tradesman. He was obsessed with stuff, precious jewels specifically, I think I remember. I'm not going to demean myself by trying to do his voice. I was
like, and you better not.
I'm not going to. But he was a purveyor of precious stones, and so perhaps that's kind of our connection here of attachments, things, items that you can put on your person.
Rubies of Rulor, perhaps.
Yeah, right. So real quick, we'll talk about banner. So if you don't know, the fact that it has the banner keyword or the banner trait means that you can play this with Alliance, because Alliance is an agenda that allows you to run 2 more agendas, so you're running 3, right?
Yeah.
2 banners. So you can still play 2 houses along with this, right? Your main faction, your 1 banner faction, and then this banner, which allows you to play 2 houses plus an extra way of playing the game. And that's the first time we've really had that, right? With Alliance, it's 3 houses, but this is a fundamental change to the rules. Something like Reign, something like Crossing, something like the Conclave, but you're playing 2 houses, and that makes it very unique, I think.
It's really cool. It's a really cool idea. And Alliance, I was really excited for, like the whole 3-house idea, but the consistency was too low. But an agenda that allows me to search within my larger deck is a really great idea.
And that's what we need, right? I think it's what we needed to make Alliance more interesting. I know other Alliance decks have done well, kind of in the isolated tournament here and there, but this feels like something that can make Alliance consistent. I almost hope that when we get the reprint of Dark Wings, Dark Words, it's something like this. Now, because that one did require you to have a larger deck, and every time you played an event, you drew a card. But if they made it kind of a banner, so you had to be a little bit more creative, you know, in how you do it. I mean, can you imagine like Alliance and then playing Dark Wings, Dark Words, and trading with the Qohor? Like you could have just some incredible. But you'd have one faction, right? But I mean, you could.
So you're allying with yourself.
Yeah, I would really like to see them explore some. I mean, it would take careful playtesting, but to explore other banners so that you can run these double agendas through Alliance. Cool. Making for some really interesting combos, and then you can swap in, you know, all the different factions. This is just going to bring in more faction bannering, which we've seen kind of fall out of the competitive scene
which
a
I
lot.
like.
Yeah,
which I like. But first and foremost, I think it makes this singular agenda more interesting because you can play its effect out of 2 houses. So it's nice that it makes Alliance better, but I think it makes Qohor itself better, and that's really fun thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's look at one of these decks that's already found success, and then we're going to look at another deck that Buzz and I think could have some success. Is an interesting kind of way to play, and these are going to be 2 different ways to play with trading with Qohor. The first one, we're going to look at Nico's Vignola regional winner. It was a 49-player regional just this weekend. The Fury of the Babies. I'm going to put it on screen for you there. It might not be real easy to read, but if you look in the description of the video, you'll see a link to Nico's deck if you have not taken a look at it yet. So just looking at this, right, he went for Alliance. It's House Lannister, Alliance with Banner of the Stag as one of his banner agendas, and
That's
then
so
trading
great.
with the Qohor.
Because anytime you can take 2 of the worst houses, smash them together, you got to do it.
Yeah, it rejuvenates Lannister quite a bit, and it rejuvenates Barra. Though Barra's been having a little bit of a comeback. It's nice to see them.
Lanny and Barra are like both like just under the surface. They've got good cards, old cards, good cards. They just needed something to kind of give them that extra juice.
Right.
And this seems to be it. You know, for Lannister, it's kind of that draw. It's a little bit. Well, we'll get into his attachment suite. Some very clever choices, I think, here.
Yeah, just looking at the characters, right? We've got Big Cersei. I mean, you want non-kneelers. I think he said that right away. Like, non-kneelers were important to his strategy because he's bringing in the Barra package, because he's using the Withering Cold. He wants to abuse that. So, I mean,
a very
Big
strong
Cersei's
plot. When I build a deck, I like to think in my plot deck, I want 2 or 3 plots that just change the game the turn they come in. And Withering Cold is definitely one of those. Like, that's a game-winning plot if you can do it correctly. And so to build your deck in such a way as to leverage that is very smart. And so non-kneeling Cersei, and then some attachments like Sir Pounce to give a little bit more non-kneeling. That's what he calls this Fury of the Babies, is and 2 and 3 cost non-kneeling guys.
Trading allows you to just, you know, grab. He's got 3 copies of Sir Pounce, so you can kind of keep cycling him. If he uses him, he knows he can ditch it. And bring in something else that's going to be really valuable that turn. Knowing that he's got 2 more Sir Pounce in the deck, he can dig for him with a trigger the following turn if he needs to. I really think Lannister is a smart way to start here. We'll talk about other ways that you can play with trading with the Qohor. I got to make sure I say with the Qohor because trading is another one.
Trading with the Pentoshi, I know.
But
it's a trade-off.
Things like Sir Pounce is a great little kind of niche bonus, but specific cards like Kevin Lannister which allow you to go back and re-grab those attachments that you sacked, I think is really nice. It's a little bit of a bonus where you're like, well, I really have to sack this to trigger trading, which I have to do to bring in this much more valuable thing, but I don't really want to see this Fever Dream go away. I don't really want to see this Sir Pounce go away. It was my last one. Well, you play Kevin and you grab the one you need back, and you can do that with Bodyguards, you can do that with Fever Dreams paid off, Sir Pounce, Widow's Wail. You can even do it with locations, right? If they manage to knock out one
like
of your locations.
Nothing Burns, which I think you may see. Like, we see it a lot. We'll continue to see it a lot with this attachment agenda. And so a Casterly Rock in your discard pile.
Yeah.
You're never sad to see that come back in.
Now, one thing he didn't include is he did not include an Isle of Ravens. Do you think Isle of Ravens should be in Qohor decks?
So that's a good question, because... obviously, no, because he won the tournament. It wasn't a 50-player regional, so I mean,
49, right?
It was a mere 49.
But let's follow that vein just a little bit. It won, a 49-player regional. That's going to be a highly competitive tournament. But like, do you think this deck right here, right away, is it like top level deck? Could you take this to a big tournament now that it's known, now that people understand kind of what it does? Because I think this deck and most janky decks, if you can make a very nicely, tightly tooled one, which I think this is, you can just surprise opponent after opponent, because no one's played against this agenda. They don't know what he's doing.
Nobody expects Sir Pounce coming out of your deck onto your Maester Pylos. Like, nobody.
Or even paid offs jumping in the middle of a challenge, right?
Paid off with supporting the faith.
Yeah, disputed claims, Serios training. I mean, they're cards being played through this engine that are just not played. And in many ways, I think a deck gets a big boost that first kind of right. It's big premiere. Absolutely. It's premiere tournament. It's going to get a big boost. Yeah. So I wonder if it's as consistent, right? Once people start to play against it and play with it, and it becomes a known thing, I think it's going to have to do some things to try and be more consistent. And I think Isle might be one of those things.
I think it's so. I understand what you're saying, and I don't mean to disagree, but I never really like it when people post their tournament-winning decks, and then every noob is like, "Hey, you should run this or that."
Right.
Card choice. It's like,
Nico,
hey,
do it better.
And I'm sitting here at home, So, like, with respect, I would say things like, I look at the Sweet Cersei. And I could see an Isle of Ravens there, but I also can see the Sweet Cersei really being nice to have gold in the challenges phase when you are looking at things like supporting the faith.
And he's playing 3x of Casterly Rock. That Sweet Cersei can be a real money bank, which is nice.
Which is nice. It's super nice.
Yeah.
So more surprising to me than no Isle of Ravens was things like one core Tyrion Lannister. And one
that's interesting.
Hound, one Jaime, one Kevin. A lot of singletons in a large deck like this.
Right.
That to me is more interesting than the Isle of Ravens.
And
when
seemed
I was
like
crafting agenda, I even thought that rebuilding might be a decent plot choice to cycle those attachments back into your deck.
Right.
But apparently Nico didn't need it, and so I think it will bear testing. Maybe a different type of deck would want a little bit more consistency on the single or double attachment that it's cycling back in. But he's got 17 attachments and like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different choices.
Right. And it really feels like he's made the conscious choice not to end up with like a Lanny good person board, right? I feel like Jaime's there in case the Cersei strategy doesn't pay off, right? Tywin's there as, of course, an amazing character, but he's playing Valar Dohaeris and a lot of low cost 2 and 3 cost characters. I think he's using that Valar Dohaeris probably offensively as often as he is defensively to keep control of this board, because you don't want this deck to get too wide. He's trying to kneel, right? So he wants to keep relatively small boards, which means he's got to sacrifice the big guys, but he's got enough to where if the Tywin plan doesn't work out, boom, Cersei. If Cersei doesn't work out, you can drop Jaime in there. Jumpers like the Hound help a lot.
But if you have 3x, 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 then you can't Dohaeris. And if you read his description, he wants to Dohaeris with a big guy and a little guy with some non-healing attachments. And that's great.
I love his inclusion of Sir Lancel, because when you're only kind of splashing in some extra Lanny big guys, Lancel becomes just so fantastic, right? Lancel and Jaime, you're like, I'm okay with this. This isn't such a bad two.
Lancel and Jaime and Sir Pounce on Lancel, that's good.
That's very good. Sir Pounce just makes things so much fun. I played Sir Pounce in a deck well, we played together, right? When I came up north, and
Yeah.
although it was mostly just like a landing crossing with Sir Pounce shenanigans added, he's such a cool card. He's so much fun to play. That non-kneeling is really great. I love that he's got like a little mini maester, theme here with Pycelle, Crescent, and Pylos of all characters.
Yes.
But Pylos is interesting.
Is great.
You get that
'cause
stealth
Lannister
power icons.
sometimes can struggle in the power challenge, and he's got that stealth. And if you can put Sir Pounce on him,
oh my gosh,
then you can get a non-kneeling stealthy intrigue and a stealth power. Like, that's pretty good.
That's very, very good.
Strong enough that he's running that Here to Serve to search it up, which helps mitigate the deck size downside.
And if someone starts dropping attachments on your characters, he's got Here to Serve. He can go for the Crescent. I like that bit of attachment control.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's kind of could work well against another Qohor deck. It's
Frozen Solids,
yeah,
icon attachments. I mean, you name it.
Things are going to mess you up. What about his events? Now, I think you kind of naturally use your attachments as kind of your events because they're popping in during the challenge phase.
Yeah.
But he still has 6 events: 3 Seen in Flames, 3 Treachery. It's just like basically the 3 best Bara events and the 3 best Landy events, which I don't fault him at all for that. That makes this thing really consistent, right?
Yeah, I like it. You can't fault that really at all.
Yeah, it's protection against the worst things in their hand and the most powerful triggers that they may have. I think it's great. I think it's a really strong deck. I can't wait to play with it. Some of his other, I think, interesting plot choices: Force March. He's got a lot of military icons, plenty in this one.
A lot of people are coming around to Force March, which didn't make a big splash on release, but I've seen it in more and more decks recently. I like the plot quite a bit. And he even puts in his description that you can search up a Serios training, put it on your opponent's character who you wish to kneel with a Force March next turn.
Oh.
That is next level.
That is pretty great. That is pretty great. And you can also put it on your guy if you need that extra one to get the extra trigger against them, right?
Sure. I love it on Cersei or on Myrcella. It's probably the best on Myrcella.
Yeah. Really cool stuff. Yeah. And now that supporting the faith is also making me think that that Sweet Cersei is kind of an extra bonus, right? Taking that gold away from your opponent during the challenges phase, but still having ways to get your own is really nice. You've got the one Tyrion, you've got the Sweet Cersei, you've got the what else? I thought there was something else. I'm missing it.
There's a Shadows card down in here, the Shadow Priestess.
There you go. Yes. So fun stuff.
And then Widow's Wail and Sir Pounce also has Ambush. But I think, to me, supporting the faith is just as good at preventing your opponent's tricks as it is if you can leverage it where you still have tricks. And in an event light deck like this, you almost don't care about having challenges gold. It often will hurt your opponent more than it hurts you, and that's what you want out of your plots, I think.
Yeah. I think we should talk real quick. I just glazed over it. Disputed Claim is a really great card in this deck. It fits right nicely into that slot. You've got plenty of Lord and Ladies in this deck. Obviously Cersei is a great option, but there's others as well.
Myrcella, Lancel,
yeah, being able to flip in
Tyrion, Tywin,
and get that +2 strength and renown. So you're going to do it after Claim from the first challenge, but if you can get it on a character that can then go twice, right? If you can go on, say, a military challenge, then hop this onto Cersei and do 2 intrigue challenges. That's a rush engine right there,
and then
with
Renown
her reaction and this.
Renown comes after the attachment search.
So you're getting the one Renown on the first challenge too, yeah.
Exactly. So it's really good, and this is a late game card, and so being able to find a late game card when you want it is really nice.
Yeah.
Or being able to play it turn 1 and have an attachment to mitigate your downside, and then sacrifice this to find something you want, knowing you can come back and get Claim later. Like, that's really, I love that Qohor is pushing up like useful in their niche cards like this, and we can play them now because they retain usefulness in any situation. I
love the ad of Joffrey, Core Joffrey with this, right? Because he's a lord, he's a cheap lord. You get Pounce on him. All of a sudden, he's not kneeling for one of the challenges, so he's got +2 strength, renown, and going on 2 challenges, and he's got the extra ability. If you can throw the Serios training on him, or really just win a military challenge with anybody, right? Because it's as long as any character is killed, he gains power. Well, any lord or lady. Gosh, like Joffrey becomes a little bit of a power engine with this. I mean, so many characters do. I love all the low curve guys who are helping you. They're not filler, right? These are interesting characters that are going to do interesting things in the challenge phase.
Yeah, I wonder if he considered a singleton of the Boy King, which grants the King trait for King of the North, as well as a little bit of that power grab, similar to Joffrey.
That's true. You can still trigger your agenda, right, with King of the North, but you won't be able to trigger the attachments if they have a trigger when you bring them into play. Yeah,
that's right. So, obviously, he didn't need it.
No.
So, whatever.
But I mean, as the meta adjusts, I think the deck will have to adjust a little bit and figure out kind of, okay, what would you play to kind of stop this, to disrupt it? And King Plot's definitely one of those popular choices.
Or there could be a different Qohor build that uses those King attachments to leverage King Plot.
Right.
I mean,
but if you can just search for King Plot, and that's the thing is this agenda is not stopped by King, so you can still use the agenda. Boom, you bring in Boy King, and you're good to go. You're rolling. Like it's a very cool way to tutor and skip over the downfall or the disruption that's going to be caused by King Plot. The more I look at it, the more excited I am to play it. This is a very cool deck.
This is great.
Yeah.
This is. I mean, congratulations to Nico.
Absolutely. He's been starving for another way to play Lannister than just Lanny Crossing. I mean, he developed the kind of new breed of Lanny Crossing out of the old jumper stuff, and it's great and it's fun and it wins. But it's really the only way to play Lanny.
But it's a single deck,
right?
If you're a House Loyalist, you want some.
This is just fascinating stuff. Yeah, I can't wait to get my hands on it. So let's look at our other deck that we threw together, or that you threw together. Aesop's Goat. I love the name. Anything that the goat will be referenced quite a bit going forward. Now, you did something interesting right away. This is your only agenda, trading with the Qohor. You're not doing the alliance thing.
I knew we were going to look at Nico's deck, which had the alliance kind of feel, and then I thought, well, let's take a first look at what it might look like out of a single house. I'm not saying this is good or bad. I think it's fun. I want to play it, but Stark seemed to be a decent home for a single house Qohor because they have a lot of in-house attachments that are really strong.
Right.
So
let's look at those attachments first, because I think that's the first place you want to go with the Qohor deck, right? It's like, okay, well, what attachments are you running? That's where we're going to see a lot of the heart of the strategy, which is such a cool thing, right? Because usually you're looking at characters right away. Maybe it's some events to look at what a deck wants to do, but right away, trading with a Qohor is going to be defined by what attachments you want to play, right? That's why you're playing this agenda. Otherwise, you're going to play fealty. You're going to play something else with Stark. So right away, I see Honor Bound, right? Which is an attachment that I don't think we're going to see a ton of play outside of a deck like this. But I love it in a deck like this because you can marshal it, get the great benefit from it, and then just ditch it. So you're not going to be hurt by the downfall, right? Where the character can't be declared as an attacker or defender on intrigue. Well, I'm just going to ditch it with Qohor and get something better, right? Get something more interesting for the rest of the challenge phase. And
then you can't overlook that you can put it on your opponent's character. So this is fantastic, for example, on their big Cersei, because then it just mitigates her whole ability. So it has that multivalent positive use for you, negative use for your opponent, and you can search it up when needed. Well, but I wanted it for a cheap setup, positive attachment, so that I could hopefully turn one, get around the downside.
And I think we saw this with Nico's deck, and I'm seeing it with yours too. When you play this, because there is the limitation on Qohor with the cost, right, the printed cost, you want a small range of like one cost, right? Once you go higher, it's less important to have a lot in that range unless you really want to, you know, interchange those. But you want to kind of have these tiers, right? Like tiers of attachments to make it work correctly. Because if all the only ones you had were bodyguards, well, then Qohor is not really effective with a bodyguard. But you've got bodyguards, frozen solids, honor bounds, right? And milks. That's 8 one-costers right there. So it gives you, like, those ones are going to be the real easy to shift, easy to marshal, not too bad to sack, and easy to replace.
Yeah, so I had, for example, a Wolf King in here, which is a 2-cost King attachment, and it just didn't seem like it was going to get enough value when you did want to sacrifice it for a 1-cost.
Right, because you generally don't want to go too far down the scale, or else it's just going to be a little less efficient.
It may be that Wolf King's good enough in a deck like this because of the challenge advantage and the king trait that it gives you, but at least in this first draft, I decided let's go without it.
Right. So let's look at our kind of higher range ones. We've got one ice. Now, only one ice. You're going to have to explain that to me. I like the two marriage pack, seal, ward, and ice. Like there's kind of the next package, right? Ward's great because it lets you get anything. All right, seal, whatever's below it. But you know, ice, marriage pact, seal of the hand, they're all in that 3 range. They work together really nice. But only one copy of ice.
I don't know. Probably habit. You know, ice I think was a very strong card in the early game, and lately it's not been so strong. Probably it does deserve a second slot, maybe even for one of those wards. I also didn't put in Isle of Ravens or Rebuilding, which might have been a mistake, but I think that ice is an attrition-based card that works well when you have board advantage. And Stark can lose when they don't have that board advantage. So I preferred an option like Marriage Pact, which helps you get back to parity on the board.
Right.
And then an effect like Winterfell Crypt, which I'm running at 2x. I wanted to try that out because with the new Wyman Manderley, you can sacrifice your cards more on demand so that you can use your crypts to shuffle in their characters that matter. So I felt like I had enough attrition. I didn't need a second ice, and if I was ever in a situation where I needed the ice, I could find it.
Yeah, so, and if you wanted to go a little more heavy on the attrition, say you add in an Isle, a second ice, and then maybe you know, maybe 3x of Winter Has Come, or some claim raising. You could do some interesting things there. But I kind of like that you didn't go all in on that. One ice maybe is all you need for that key kind of crush job on that troublesome character.
Yeah, so I could see it doing a couple of those things, like going down to a few more 1x's of these and adding 1 or 2 Isles of Ravens, maybe even a few more events. But for my first draft, I wanted to try it with a larger attachment base and see how that goes.
I really like, we've got Ramsay Snow in here, of course. We've got the Bolton Flayers, kind of new standard cards for Stark. It's part of the reason why they're doing so well. Also, 2 Last Hearth Scouts. I don't think it can be undersold how amazing these guys are right now in the meta. They're important.
I really like them a lot.
I think they're a big reason why Stark, people are starting to actually play them. They've been around since the Lions box, right? But I think people are finally realizing, like,
anti-jumper card.
Yeah, like you got to play this. Almost every other faction you're playing is jumping stuff, right?
Yeah, especially with Shadows, and I mean,
Shadows now totally especially, They're
even Greyjoy now has jumpers, so it's like, okay, you got to put them in there.
Yeah, they just got to be, and all you really have are the Bolton Flayers. Those are the only guys you have jumping in. If the Bolton Flayers aren't going on challenges, it's not the end of the world. You're really, they're there for their forced interrupt, right?
Sure. Or you just marshal them.
Right.
It's fine.
Right. That's true. You just marshal them. Let's see. Locations. Gates of the Moon. Hearttree Grove. The Armory. I like it. I like that people are using the Armory. I am publicly against the Armory, but it was in a couple of decks that performed well over this last weekend. So I'm pleasantly surprised to see that they're getting played.
Tell me why you're against the Armory.
I hate that it's a one-time only. Northern Armory cannot stand. It's just heartbreaking. How about Northern Armory does not stand during the standing phase? You know, give me some.
Stand it.
Well,
so it's
veteran
like
builder, of course. I'm gonna.
I almost feel like I might play veteran builder. I might play a 2-cost 1 gold non-limited if it were blank in Stark, because they like need it so bad.
It's true.
And so I see it as an event, like stand a character 1 shot anytime. Like that's pretty good.
That's not bad. All right, when you say it like that, and
you know, I'm going to stand Arya, you know, and make sure you can't save somebody when I pop my ice. Like that's pretty nice. I'm going to stand Rob for renown. I don't know.
All right.
I'm going to stand Varamir.
The fact that it's non-limited, yeah, you almost have to run it in Stark. I guess in any other house, I'd just be like, but Stark needed something like this.
Yeah, so like the Baratheon one, for example, not to steal your Second Son's content. I'd still run it in Vera because they need the money also.
Right.
Their 2-cost limited is so bad. That effect is so marginal that you feel like feels bad. Like this effect, at least it gives you an impactful bonus once.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm going to play it.
I do like that you're including Varamir here. I think he's just general good, right? I mean, that's why he's here.
General good stuff. There was a deck that won the Knoxville Regional last weekend, Stark Wars to Come build that used Varamir, and it said that it liked it for the Intrigue Icon and Insight, and Stark is really hurting for draw, and
I mean, he's good against everybody, right? Because if they're playing Targ, you shift into the bear and you make yourself pretty close to unburnable, right? As close as you can get these days.
I think so. And then Intimidate, and in any agenda that wants the challenge wins. I mean, that plus strength or icon flexibility, excuse me, is really good. So I'm going to try one of them.
Power icon and stealth makes him really interesting, I think. Stark has that stealth, but he just adds that extra bit with Arya. Wait, which Arya are you running? I didn't look at it closely.
I'm running
Cannot Be Saved.
The no save.
All right.
Arya.
I
really like her. I'm not running Flea Bottom, which again I might like to try to find space for.
Man,
but these Qohor decks, they get pretty tight. So
2 no save Aryas. I feel like you need 2 ice in here because then you're just getting the most out of ice, right? You're just crushing face with ice. I don't know where we can find space, but maybe. You've got Big Cat, love it. Gosh, wouldn't it be great if she could trigger off of any start card being sacrificed? It's got to be a character, though. Got to be a character.
You want me to get a power for sacking ice?
Yeah, a power for sacking anything with Qohor, right? Nothing. Do any of the Stark sack stuff trigger off of like a start card, or is it all characters?
To my knowledge, it's characters. So it's either Stark characters, as with Robb Stark, or then the new Wyman is nice because it's after 1 or more characters, just in general, are sacked or killed. So that works with neutrals, which is nice.
I was even thinking, like, I guess Arya's Gift, though it does something with attachments, it doesn't really do anything interesting with Qohor, does it? I'm trying to think, but I don't think it does. I mean, you could use an attachment, move it, then sack it, then get another one. Like, there's something maybe there.
It's nice for attachment control. To move like a milk off of one of your characters. It's nice to move ice or maybe even an honor bound like around for the bump. It's nice to move your frozen solid if you freeze something and then they play something that matters more. I just didn't feel like it was going to be worth its slot. Yeah,
I don't think it's good enough yet. Maybe if they get an attachment that really helps you, like, you know, get a double up on Intimidate. Oh wait, do we have one like that?
So they have Nymeria, the wolf.
Yeah, how about Nymeria? Where's Nymeria here?
She's just I couldn't play 1 cost and 2 cost and 3 cost.
She's 2 cost, right? Yeah, so it's kind of in a tricky spot.
Another card that I'd like to find a slot in here for, honestly, is a Brother's Robes, so that I can search that up and put it on Caitlyn and keep my milks from affecting my important cards.
That actually is an interesting idea. There's so many attachments. A lot of really good neutral ones.
And that's why Qohor is great. And so this is, I think, a decent base for a first draft. It's going to need playing and testing. But I like that I'm going to be testing things like how many ice do I need? How many recursions do I need? How many proactive versus reactive attachments do I need?
Right.
It's going to be awesome.
Now you have no events here. But all that tells me is, you know, you're going to be using your attachments a lot. It tells me your opponent has dead hands and you have great setups. That's what that tells me right now, right? Like it's not a bad trade-off, I think. You're giving up a little bit of surprise, but your setups are probably going to be very consistent.
There's a lot of Hand's Judgment and Someone Always Tells, like just event cancel running around in my view, and this is one way to mitigate that. Although sometimes you're too clever by half. I really would like Winter is Coming or something. Even the I Am No Ones are nice.
I Am No Ones with I mean, you've got kind of a pretty good little low curve group here with Arya, with Sansa, with Osha. I Am No Ones.
I could lean in there more with I Am No One, but I just felt like I'd rather have
draw a lot of
some
cards
attachments at least as I refine the deck.
Yeah,
it may be that I end up going down to say 10 of my best attachments, and then finding space for 3 events in an Isle of Ravens. I could see that, but again, this is a first draft. And
now, how about You Win or You Die? Is this just a buzz pick?
So I like You Win or You Die in Stark because Stark can't draw cards ever. And so mid-game with Stark, you're top decking. I mean, all the Stark players know this. And so you're like recycling Flea Bottom in summer, or just like little drips and bits of cards. And so a reserve of 0, it's like, that's fine.
Because you'll get 4 cards that turn, right?
And this actually has, in my view, in Stark, as few of downsides as most Claim 2 plots do, whether it be the low gold or something like that. And so this is a refill your hand, play it out, go first, punch with 2 claim, get your Qohor. It's like a big, you can win this turn. You can shift the game this turn.
You gotta love the initiative, the income, the card draw. Yeah, I like it. I'm scared. I'm scared of it. But I suppose
just don't play it.
If this card loses you the game, you're gonna lose that game anyways, right? Like,
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
Right.
This is a boot on the throat card, which I think you need a few of. It's not as much of a comeback card, but given the cost curve that this deck is running at, I just didn't feel like coppers could work. Exchange of information I like quite a bit, but I like it most when you're running 4 card types that you can find, and becomes 3 for 1 draw 4.
Yeah,
but the downside of exchange is just not as good if you can't get the 4 cards.
Right.
So that's my opinion.
I really think Winter is Coming needs to be in this deck. The more I look
probably
at
you're
it,
right.
Like
probably you're right.
Winter is. I mean, just look at this turn, right? You've got the gold. You can probably drop a Ramsey that turn. So you're like Ramsey, maybe a Flayer. Your Winter is Coming, and maybe do an Ice Qohor that turn. Like you can, you can just do some wrecking ball damage. With you win or you die, and Winter is Coming. I think we're gonna see more kind of 3 claim shenanigans out of Stark. I hope we get some of those really hard punchy military decks. I'm not sure if we're gonna see a lot of them, but I think there's space for them again.
I like that there is space. I like that Stark, kind of the honest challenge based feel of the house. I think it's a fun one to play with or against, to be honest. Right. And
well, the thing about Stark is, right, they're that you play and everything's on the board. You know they've got Winners Coming and a few other little tricks, but you can plan for them.
They're pretty predictable tricks, though.
But Qohor gives you that little extra, like, okay, what are they going to bring in here? Are they going to Frozen Solid the location I need after this first challenge, in which I can't really use this location, right? The fact that you can pop in a Frozen Solid in the challenge phase already makes Stark really interesting. The fact that you can pop an Ice in, that they have to play really carefully, right? The fact that you can use a Seal to keep it, right? What if I go on a challenge with the guy with Seal? It's like, well, do I defend this? Because they're gonna stand him back up with Seal. They can swap in Ice for the Seal and then go on the big military challenge with that same guy. And then you might get that first one through. Like, it makes... All I'm saying is it makes you think more when you're playing against Stark, which I like. It's good. It's good for Stark players, and it's good for the game.
Yeah. So I thought this was a fun look at a mono Qohor deck. I think you can run the same out of some different houses, and so maybe we should take a few minutes and spin through some other just kind of envisioning or theory crafting or dreaming.
Yeah, let's
what
talk
can we
about
do with this outside of these builds.
So right away I thought, well, not right away, but after we kind of planned out the episode, I thought, gosh, like Stark Watch is kind of a mainstay of attachments, kind of an attachment attrition deck.
And you're speaking about it in the wall deck kind of build.
Yeah.
With Marriage Packs, Cravens, the like.
Right. So if you could, play it with Alliance, now you're going to have to up your card count, but you can get a lot of draw out of Night's Watch. This is not a surprise, right? And with Night's Watch's draw and the filtering and searching with trading and the just absolute bonkers quality of locations across Night's Watch and Stark, I think you might see a resurgence of both Night's Watch Wolf and Stark Raven, right, or Stark Watch, right? I think you can see both of those decks come back with Alliance and with trading with a Qohor. I just think they need to get tooled up and built, and I think they'll be. I mean, making those decks more consistent. Whew.
That's interesting because the wall deck wants to win on defense, yet Qohor requires you to win on offense, and so you'll have to build that into yours. But it may be that one or two triggers is enough, because if you can just freeze a character for the game, like that can be game winning. So that'll be certainly an interesting one.
Yeah, I mean there are really good Night's Watch offensive attachments too, right? You can get those Dragonglass daggers in there, making your guys immune to character abilities and +2 strength. Like there's stuff there that Night's Watch deck exists, and you can play kind of Night's Watch Rush and do really fun things with it. Getting Longclaw out on John Just like
and
that.
Attachment
Ooh.
Ghost is one that I really liked.
Yes.
In Stark Watch, that deck that I had a while back that was a little bit more aggressive.
It won't play like Marriage Pact Craven. You can't do anything on offense. It'll play differently. But that's interesting. I mean, it'll be a new way to kind of slap those, get that attachment kind of base going with those two houses again.
Yeah, Targaryen is often seen as the attachment house, so-called, and they have so many like niche attachments that just go on Daenerys. So I might like to see kind of how that would play. But there's also those Dothraki attachments that give you multiple military challenges.
Iraqs, yeah.
You know, and then the Eric that goes on Drogo, which makes him non-kneeling. Like, I'll fiddle in that with a Blood Rider deck. I know that Sandy's been playing a pretty sweet Blood Rider Crossing lately, and maybe there's a high claim version out of Qohor as well.
I like that idea.
Power claim.
I mean, if you play it right with an Isle of Ravens, you could be cycling. Well, let me think. Can you cycle the Crown? What other 4-cost attachment are you using to try and cycle Crown of Gold?
You can do Ward.
It's true.
I'm trying to think what else there is. I think that's it.
Wards and Crown. I mean, there's worse things you could do than cycle out crowns every other turn, right?
You can put your crown on your own Daenerys because it doesn't reduce her strength, and then you get the king trait on your king plot, and then sack it.
I like
pro
that.
plays, man.
I like pro plays. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. They're gonna have to watch out for those 4-cost attachments. If there's really good neutral ones, watch out. We're just gonna see crowns for days. I think there's a deck with Martell, with Venomous Blades and neutral attachments. I'm not sure who you'd want to pair Martell with. You might not pair them with anyone. You might just go with something like your mono deck with Stark.
Well, a decent trick out of Martell that I've seen bandied about is to use your Venomous Blade to strip a Chud, and then when you're challenged, sacrifice that Venomous Blade to put in a Locked Away, which is a very powerful effect, but just like a little bit overcosted.
Right.
And that will return the character to their hand at the end of the marshalling phase. And so if you can pull it in for free, having got the Blade's effect, I think you're pretty happy with that.
And I like that, because normally you'll play Locked Away, right, and it's not going to take effect to the following marshalling phase, and your opponent can kind of plan for that. But right, they'll probably sequence their marshalling, especially if they're going second. But if you can play it during challenges, right, drop that Locked Away, it suddenly makes it more, especially near the end of the challenge phase, it's a much more interesting timing on Locked Away. So I think it might see some play. It might see some play. And of course, I mean, we'd be remiss not to mention all the icon stripping locations that you can just shuffle through, right? And I'll get rid of the intrigue one, now I need to stop power. I'll get rid of the power, now I need to stop military. And if you're using something like Isle just to shift them back into your deck and make them just on demand whenever you need them, I think we could see actual icon stripping as a legitimate strategy with Qohor, unlike we've ever seen it before.
Yeah. I would try that for sure. And then there's that new one. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. Secret Pact, I think it is, where you can't be declared as a defender, but you get renown.
Right.
And so some of those attachments with the multivalent use are nice to search on demand, whereas too often they're dead cards in regular play.
Right.
But the searchability, I think, makes those really fun.
Yeah. I think, I mean, this could open up stuff for Bera. For some of their R'hllor attachments, for the Warhammer. I
love the Warhammer, man.
Right? Isn't the Warhammer great? But how do you play the Warhammer?
Cycle 1. You can't play it,
but you can with Qohor. If you're jumping it in, that makes it suddenly pretty interesting.
Can you imagine, Big Robert with the Warhammer on a Withering Cold turn, by surprise? That is game-winning stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this will make it that tad bit more consistent, which I'm looking forward to playing around with.
Yeah. Anybody else? Let me think. I mean, these are just top-of-the-head ideas. I think there's a lot of unexplored space with trading.
Yeah, I'm not as conversant with the Greyjoy attachment suite. I feel like they are probably the weakest for this.
Most of their cool ones trigger off of winning a challenge, right? So, I mean, if you can toss fishing nets mid-challenge, that's kind of interesting.
That is interesting. I didn't think about that. They have that location one, the Plundered, which probably doesn't matter. I've seen Rob St. John on his channel use those Corsair's Dirks, but that might work well with a shadowy type deal, but I just don't see that being the best use of the agenda, to be honest. I think Greyjoy has stronger options and Qohor has stronger options. But it'll be fun to see what we've missed.
You never know. We'll have to keep watching. They may have something that works.
You could sacrifice your saves, those Risens from the Seas,
Ooh.
to find zero cost attachments, shuffle them back in, and draw them again.
Get those zero. I like it. That might actually work out. Yeah, they still have that attachment keyword, right? They are attachments while still attached to the character, so you could do it. Ooh, I like that move. Let me think. What about Tyrell? I'm not sure if Tyrell has anything they love. Heartsbane's awesome. Maybe a Knights deck with like Heartsbane, Marin Heats.
Marin Heat can be good.
The Lance,
the Crown of Golden Roses is really good.
Right, Crown of Golden Tourney Lance. There might be a Knight deck that uses this. Yeah.
There's Knighted.
That's right. That's right.
That feels more like a fun deck than a good deck.
Maybe.
Which again, we promote that here at the
That's fine. That's fine. Anything that brings a little more jank into the jank wasteland that is currently Tyrell, that's fine. Like I'm happy. I'll be happy to build a Tyrell deck that doesn't do what they're doing right now.
Yeah, because Tyrell's like either too janky with combo decks or like not janky with
at all, right?
impenetrable boards.
Yeah, they are not the kind of jank that we support in a general sense.
No. I think Tyrell could be decent in any larger deck size because of their filtering and draw makes it so strong. And so you could use them just as the chassis on which to build something more interesting, like any of those other, like Relore, like Tyrell, Alliance, Barra, Qohor. I think that could be good because you have the economy and draw that you would need.
Right.
But I don't know. It'll be worth fiddling with. Mono Tyrell, I just, again, would feel like you should just do it with a good Tyrell decks.
So any faction we haven't touched on as having some potential?
It's too many houses. That would be my opinion.
I think we did talk about it.
We obviously looked at Nico's deck and saw the way that he did it. We didn't talk enough probably about the idea that Fever Dreams was just a brilliant maneuver. Because Fever Dreams, again, is like it's like the only draw that Lannister has. I remember when it was spoiled, people were crying, OP, and now it's nobody plays it.
Right.
But being able to find it when you have the money to bestow it,
interesting,
and like using it on demand, I think is really nice. And then you can sacrifice it when it's up.
What about the? Could you make a small council deck with this agenda?
Ooh.
Because now you can actually search for them, right? You can search for those attachments, boop, 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 pop them on the big guys. You've got the wait, what is the card that stands all participating small council characters when you win a challenge?
The council consents? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, so it makes council consent something interesting. You play small council chamber. It would be very rushy, and and it'd probably be a big guy's deck for sure. But a big guy's deck
wins intrigue by 5 or more stand each small council character.
There you go. So you could get play the small council guys that already exist, get some extras in there. Extras with the attachment that makes them small council.
You remember many janks ago, we did those Gregor Tower decks?
Yeah.
We were running the appointed.
Small council? Like, Gregor on the small council? Is that what we're talking about?
Just Gregor in general, because you can find the attachment that he wants at a given time.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Get him the intrigue icon, get him the power icon, and get it to him easily. All you have to do is win that military challenge with him. Fine. Boom, pop something on him. I mean, with Seal? Oh my gosh. You could do some really interesting things with Voltron Gregor. Yeah.
We've thrown out 13 ideas, 7 of which are like decent, decently viable, 6 of which are just fun. But like that's why I love this agenda so much. It gets your thoughts turning, and you're thinking about things in a way we haven't in a while.
Right. This agenda it opens up deep veins into the card pool, which we can just like dive right in and start mining. Like I can't wait to hook on my little headlamp and get down there in the dirt and make some stuff. It's exciting, and I'm glad that its debut it just crushed like a 49-person tournament. Like that's great for the agenda because it means people are going to look at it, right? They're going to be like, oh, like this thing can be good.
I feel like this is what I wanted the Maester agenda to be.
I know,
kind of that searchy, findy. We
needed someone to crack it.
Cards with their powers combined, get the Captain Planet. But this feels like the real deal. So I'm pumped. I haven't been this excited for Thrones decks in a long time.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, we've got a big treat for everybody. Next segment, which is going to be coming up shortly here, we're going to actually play a game with, I believe, Nico's deck. We'll throw it on the table. I've never played it. I don't think Buzz has ever played with it or against it, so we're going to...
I haven't played anything in like 4 months.
Right, me neither.
I went to the regional with like 0 reps, and it showed, and so womp womp.
Yeah.
I'm going to be playing the Tennessee regional winning Stark Wars deck, which is a pretty basic
Nice.
template against which to, I think, do a deck. I'd love to play this Aesop's Goat, but that's too much jank.
Yeah, I don't think
Too
we need
much.
to go Qohor on Qohor, right? We don't
No,
need to.
that's too much.
Pitting the goat against itself seems unfair. All right, so yeah, here we go. All right, everybody, as promised, here is the game between myself and Buzz. I'll be playing Nico's Lovely Fur Babies deck that we talked about in the first segment of the episode. And Buzz, what are you going to be playing tonight?
I'm using the Knoxville winning Stark Wars to come.
All right,
And I've never played it
consistency.
before.
Well, you know, I've looked
great.
at it. It looks like a very solid deck. As you can see, we did a quick wardrobe change and a quick location change just to bring you guys the best possible content through the magic of the Jank Tank. All right. Okay. Let me think about this setup here.
I know. I'm like right in two minds as well, but I think I'm gonna try to do better.
Yeah, I'm gonna be I'll be a little bit transparent with the game because I kind of want to tell viewers, see how there's 0 economy here. That doesn't make me happy. A 2-card setup. Yeah, that's just not gonna happen. We're gonna mulligan that. Ooh, this is more interesting. Maybe. Yeah. Okay. Well, we've got some cards. That's good.
Yeah, mine could have been better, but what can you do?
Yeah, it's a 3-card setup.
This hand is not worse than my other hand, and I guess that's all you can really ask for.
Yeah, right.
In your
Oh,
mulligan
okay.
position.
Begging Brother. Oh, the Last Hearth, always good. Oh, there's that Winterfell right from the get-go. What can I do about that? Oh, I know I can do something about that. Okay. In the form of attachment hate. All right, let's start. Which would I assume this is the standard opener. I'm gonna have to make a lot of assumptions. Nico, oh, nice. Nico gave us some nice things to think about, but well, I think. Let me think of what I have here. Do I actually want to go first here? I might. I don't really know. I'm not sure if this is a go first deck really. But I'm gonna go first. Let's see what happens. All right. Here we go. Let's start and see which is better. I think I need some money now, so we'll do that. Boy, this isn't as slam dunk as I assumed. Well, I think we want to get her out right away.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
I know, right? Seems okay. And then, gosh, this is kind of silly, but I think we also want options. So that means, what do I have here? That's no. I think we want to go with this right there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, I mean, I felt like I had to play an attachment, right? I mean, that's what the name of this game here. I'm playing with Qohor. I need something to cycle. All right, it's not super exciting. Let's see what you got.
I was salivating at the thought of a no military icon board
Yeah,
and an extra $1.
Right.
But I'll salivate even more.
Oh,
at the
oh
suit
dear.
deck
Oh
myself.
dear. Oh dear. Well, now let's see. I still control Serio's training, though, correct? I think I do.
I think you do.
Yeah, so I can still ditch it. Okay.
I think you can. That's correct.
Interesting. Okay.
Let's do that.
Now, Winterfell does stop the agenda, doesn't it?
It would, yeah, I believe.
It would, yeah. Okay. Well, that leaves things a bit tricky. Alright, well, let's change my settings so I actually have some phases to do things in. Let's do an inching challenge.
Ooh, any reactions?
I don't think so. I have an action that I forgot to do because I didn't click the window, but I'll do that right now. Yeah. Alright, I'll go ahead and... Oh, no, I can't get a gold. Oh. Okay, that's alright. Alright, so you're going to turn it off for now. That's fine.
I gotta try to decide. Oh, I can't even win it. Never mind. I thought for some reason she was 5, but she's not.
Yeah.
So that was a waste. Oh well.
Well, it means I can't trigger my agenda, right? Oh no, yeah, I can't. Let's see. Ooh, mage. I'll take that. All right, let's gain a gold. Now here's a question. Oops. I'm looking at Qohor for a second. After claim is applied, it doesn't matter that I won't actually claim something on a power challenge, right?
I think that's correct. Yeah, it's just the framework step there.
Okay. Huh. Well, I have no way to get rid of that. Let me think here. I don't want you coming back on the military challenge. That's the thing, right? That's the issue here. So I think I need to try. Let's see. Ooh, you can win this power challenge. That's the problem, right? 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plus the boost. Yeah. You'll have to kneel like everybody though. So, well, let's see if you do.
Yeah. Well, me kneeling everybody's just as good as you getting rid of that military icon.
Right.
In a way. What can you go get? That's the question.
3, 4, 5, 6. I guess I could have just left Shireen up there. Oh well.
So you're coming for 7. All right. Let's block for 5.
There you go. Keep your guy up. Yeah, I think that's smart, right? Keep up your military icon. Ooh, a little last hearth action.
Yeah, I think you misunderestimated the last hearth because it gives me plus 3.
Plus 3,
if
yeah.
there's fewer than 3, so.
Right.
I'm going to be doing this from Starbucks all the time.
Yeah.
It's not latte. It's treating me right.
All right. I think that's it for me. Yeah. All right. Here comes that big military, right? Yep.
Yeah, I think that's got to be the choice here.
Gotta be. All right. Okay, we're gonna get a double kneel. All right. Ooh, I see you're gonna have to discard a card. Cersei trigger. Oh shoot, so am I. Darn it.
I'll get rid of a Winterfell, dude.
There we go. Oh, nice. I will.
You haven't seen Winterfell as much lately, but this guy's running 3, and
nice.
I'm not mad at all that I have it in play. So.
I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of something. I don't think it's doing me a lot of good right now, but maybe I can fish it later. So I'm gonna get rid of Fever Dreams. Alright, what are you gonna do here? I think something like that.
Very interesting. I think we'll do this.
Woohoo! The big money. Ooh, you must have some real good stuff. Oh man.
What I don't have is marched to the wall.
Well, yeah. As I said, I have looked at that deck. I was like, okay, you can't just like march me away.
I'm glad you looked at it and I didn't. So I was like, all right.
Time to march Cersei. Oh,
exactly.
Wait a second. Gosh, I think I might want to. Cersei's so nice to go first, but I think we're gonna let you go first here. Kind of see what you do. See if that helps me get maybe my agenda to trigger a little better. Well, I am clearly gonna do that. Now, if your first action is another ward, I'll be pretty. Oh no, you can't do another ward.
That's unique.
That's
So
right.
sad.
So happy.
Well, that's a bummer.
Oh, come on. You can survive this. Okay. You know, I actually thought about putting in a trade routes into this one. Because I think it could play it. I mean, it has like 14 locations. Obviously, you're not going to see them quite as often because it's a 75 card deck. But I definitely considered it.
Do you have any actions?
No, I'm gonna wait for my marshalling only because I don't want to just get rid of the ward and have you play another ward.
Oh, well, that's what I was hoping for.
Oh yeah? Ooh, he's just as good. Look at him. Yeah, boy. Oh, he's so bonkers. Bonkers. Oh, that's a card in shadows. Ooh, I think I know who that is too. Hopefully he's just killing the steward.
Yeah, hopefully so.
Hopefully. Alright. Can I go? Alright. What do you got? One left. Alright, let's start to get rid of that.
So sad.
Okay. I'm feeling a little better. Whew. I was just sad. I was distraught. That's what I was. I think I want to do that. Let's get some more challenge phase stuff going. Let's see, you got 5 cards in hand?
Yeah. Did Nico include those gold roads because they're good? Or because you needed more locations that provided money on the better deck?
I think he wanted that, exactly. Alright, that's one I don't think I will be sacking anytime soon. But you never know.
This is the worst.
Oh, come now.
Why don't you just play Casterly Rock and be done with it?
God, if only. Oh, if only. That would be so nice. I have no such card at the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 5. And you saved a gold. Let's play. Oh, I need 1 more gold for that. Alright, that's fine. Let's play my girl. And I think I'll save 2. Huh. Let me think here. Yeah, we'll save 2. Alright.
One of these.
Okay, a little intrigue action for 3. And a gold. Let's get up to 4. I plan on drawing at least 1 one card. I think I might let this one go. Seems silly to kneel both these characters on defense. And come through on power. Huh. Yeah, I'm gonna let you have it.
Right. All right.
See if it matters. My wife's
back there.
my wife's playing video games. She's playing Star Wars. I think she feels the stormtroopers closing in.
Sarah would never play something like that. Sadly.
What did you get? Oh no, you got Tommen. No. No.
And now look, 3 Serpounce on Tommen's card.
No, and I didn't slot in Boy King. That was the other thing. I thought maybe I should slot in Boy King, and I was like, well, no, we'll just play Nico's deck, and he's got Tommen. No problem.
No problem. No problem needed.
Oops.
Right. So the problem with this is that
all right, you donezo?
yeah.
All right. Gosh darn. Well, let's do something to make you make choices. Let's try this.
Ooh.
Oh, I know, right? Pass. Let's go ahead and do a little military action with the homie.
Just a lot of clicking done on the Iron Throne, as usual.
Of course. Alright, let's go ahead and apply that claim.
I think I'm actually going to claim Wyman.
Alright, we're going to go agenda crazy. Oh, you're going to claim Wyman, huh? Yeah. Do you not want me to trigger my agenda twice? Is that what just happened? Shame on you. Alright. Oh, wait a minute. So... hold on. Choose Wyman for claim. Oh, you had a dupe on him. You had a dupe on him. I didn't realize it. Got it. I was like, why is it giving me the option to still get it off of Wyman? Well, okay, I see why. All right, we're gonna ditch that. And this feels like it's pretty obvious. Oh, that's kind of cool, though. Oh, you have 5. Okay.
It's a good time for either Fever Dreams or Seized by the Guard, I think.
Yeah, we're gonna go Seized. Get 2 on it. Wish I could get more, but I had to spend the 2 to get the Burn Men through. I guess I could have pushed the Intrigue.
You could have used
and gone
right?
for... Yeah. At that point, yeah. Well, no, because I think I was down to... it would have been 5 to 5 cards. So she would have knelt at least, but not that that's a huge consideration. But
no, well, Pycelle had the military icon, so
right.
You could have just swung in with him.
Oh, that's true. Well, he'll get it now. I hope. Right. Let's see. Would it be worth it to do that? Maybe. Alright. Let's do the Intrigue. Like that. Let's see, that would be 6, 7, 8. You can go 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Alright.
Yeah. You should have seized the last turn.
I know. Alright, let's do that.
So you're coming in for 8. I can block with 8, and then you could just come in for 9. That is all very sad. This way, I'll make you swing with both of your guys, and then I can win dominance.
True. Alright, let's do that.
Oh, that's what I didn't want you to get.
Now, is it worth it Qohoring again? I think that milk is way too important on him right now. Because even... Yeah, we're not going to do it. I need to get more attachments out there. Okay.
Oh, never mind. Marcelo's not going to kneel.
That's true.
The best laid plans of Mason.
Well, I was hoping for that little card flip, right? It's pass. So, I mean, you'll still win Dom if you don't defend.
Yeah, well, I wanted to defend and win Dom.
What? So greedy. Okay. Split claim. Now, do I get greedy now? Should I get super greedy? I kind of want to. It might be a bad move. Let's just do it, because I want to get greedy.
You might as well.
And let's go. I have 5 on my house, so yeah. Let's do that.
Oh, that is
It's greedy, I know. It's super greedy, but but I feel like why not, right? Let's just push it. Let's just push this deck to its limits. All right.
Alright, some interesting choices here for me.
Yeah.
Let's try it.
This could be interesting. Yeah, let's do this. Ooh. Wait a minute. Why'd you play that? Oh, do you have another Winterfell? Do you have a third Winterfell?
I do.
You dirty dog. You dirty dog. Oh, and seized is terminal.
Yeah.
Alright. Oh, I have to get rid of an attachment, don't I?
Yeah.
No. Alright.
Oh, I thought it was going to make you have to choose the disputed claim.
No, screw that.
That's going to be amazing.
Forget that. Alright. I think I might have an out here. We'll see. See if this works out.
I needed to draw better than that.
What's he saying? Oh, yeah. I do have an out. Oh, still no Winterfell, though, hey? I think I just push here, just like push like crazy. I think that's the idea.
think you probably can.
I think so. I don't know so, but I think so. Here's how we're gonna do it. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, okay. Okay, so let's do that. Let's ditch it. Kneel it. Play my man. Trigger him. Serious training.
That's not good.
On my girl Marcella. Ooh, look at her. 5 strength, does not kneel to attack. Tricon Renown. This deck just got bonkers. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 5 cards. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not ideal. So let's change it. Oh wait, is that gonna work? No, that won't work.
It's not gonna work.
I can't get you low enough. Well, shnikes. I can put Sir Pounce on her though. That'll help. That'll give me 2 challenges. Oh, this deck is dumb. I love it. Yeah, I guess I'm done.
Oh. Oh.
And see, the plan was if you had played Winterfell, I'd play Kevin, get seized, and pop it right back on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's smart. So my plot was not amazing. And I probably should have brought the flare out and marshalling, but I forget that you can. So
right, because he's end of the challenge phase, right?
Yeah, stuck in the past. I think this is pretty much going to be GG, I think.
Oh, I think it
let's
might
play
be.
it out. I think I might have a trick up my sleeve.
Ooh, I did take that milk off of Wyman by getting greedy. Intrigue challenge with strength 5. Alright, you can still go +3 with last hearth. 6, 7, 8.
And look at Marcella. Unbelievable.
Right? Alright, I guess I'm just gonna be silly. I'm gonna be silly and defend this.
It's probably fine.
Yay. Ooh, 5 cards are 5 cards. Be careful now.
I'm not that worried. Alright.
Oh, I'm in Manderley. Treachery.
That's so sad.
I know.
Sad that you treachered the wrong effect.
Oh, because you can do it 3 times per round. I just realized by reading them. 3 times per round. Now you can only do it once more now. Alright. Pass. Yeah, power challenge, huh? Pass. I'll defend. Ooh, you can get a 3rd stand, huh? Ooh. You're right, I did use it on the wrong one.
It's okay. Normally in like
I got so excited. I thought it was limit once per phase. Why did I think he was limit once per phase? 3 times per round. Oh, he's so good. He's even better. Treachery's wasted on him.
Well, you treached the action of him sacrificing. You should have let me sack him and then treachery in his reaction.
Oh, but
they're separate abilities.
Oh, I see. You're right.
So then I would have just chumped my guy for no reason.
Then you wouldn't have gotten the stand. That's right. Yep. Yeah. Totally screwed that up. Got to pay attention to separate actions.
It's not
all right. I'm still coming. It's making me angry now, though. It's making me angry.
Oh,
This is what I get. This is what we get for not playing for like 4 months.
Exactly.
Gotta
I think you're
read
gonna
these
super tilt. You should see my hands. Oh, I should push pass. It's amazing hands.
There you
I have 2 Gates of Winterfell, 2 Frozen Solids, my 3rd Winterfell, and a Put to the Torch.
Oh,
With not military icons.
all
So,
those Frozens on my hot locations. You were waiting. You were waiting for that Casterly. Let's see. We got one more stand.
I was kind of waiting for a character.
Those are usually good too.
I left him stuck in shadows for no reason.
5, 6, and 8, 9, 11. Oh, I think we just barely have it, right? 11 to 11. How bonkers is that?
Yeah, which means you're gonna be able to win the power challenge too. That means you just gotta try to slow you down. So you're gonna get 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 front oppose, 14 for dominance. I'm still in it.
Let's see. Now, do I want to Qohor this? I guess I don't need the cat after that one, right? Yeah. So let's
Well, can you get another disputed claim on Cersei? Because that would close the game out.
pounce. Oh yeah, oh my god, that's so silly. And she gets 2 more strength. What? Oh my gosh, this deck is dumb.
It's beautiful.
My god, this deck is dumb. Alright, now she's gonna kneel now. So I only get 1 more. It's gonna be power, right? Yeah. There you go. Yeah, standy time.
Yeah, I still like those guys.
All right, well, I think I should have, obviously, 1 more Qohor. Let's do it. Let's go for a...
Bring Pounce back.
I could. Little bodyguard action, little fever dreams, little... Here's what we do. Let's just keep it simple. Let's just go with... oh, it won't make a difference, huh? Oh my gosh, but look, you can just like, oh, let's grab a Widow's Wail, put it on Cersei, make her a 10 strength, non-kneeling, renown, on entry, like, oh my god. Yeah, let's give Widow's Wail to him. Let's do it.
Why not? Why not? Man, look at that.
Wow.
Turn 3.
This thing cooked. I mean, here's the thing, it's 75 cards, and I got Cersei, and I got Myrcella. It's 3x, of course, but at 75, getting both of those is pretty advantageous. The attachments you're gonna get, because you just dig. But, yeah, that's pretty fast. Like, you get those 2 girls working together. Look at that. And I could Velardo Harris and have them both.
Yeah, you can. And I think that's what he wants you to do, right?
Right. I'm going to finish off with a final Qohor trigger.
Okay.
Put it on Wyvern. All right. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. See, now, I feel like people still kind of think like, oh, it just surprised people. But, man, I mean, that cooked really, really fast.
I mean, I didn't play optimally, but you pretty much had me from the get-go, I think. Like, I made a few small mistakes for sure, but...
It's just those attachments coming in when they can. It's huge, right?
No, I totally underestimated that disputed claim. Like, that was big time.
Disputed is huge, right? I mean, you forget that it's the +2 strength is also just suddenly like, oh, wait a minute, that non-kneeler is 5 and a Tricon and Renown? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, very hard to deal with.
And giving Cersei Renown and her trigger, like, whew, there's not a lot of ways to get a Renown, right? To get Cersei Renown, so it's...
No, I don't think so.
So, disputed claim on a Cersei is pretty nuts. Wow.
Even on Marcella, it was nuts. She's in the game with 3 power. That's
Right.
pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. Gosh, and see, I mean, what can you do if I was afraid of Valar Morghulis, which of course I'm not, because I know your deck. But say I was, I mean, you can just quickly bodyguard up Cersei and Marcella, right? And say, okay, like they're safe. If you want a Valor, fine, they're good, and that'll give me time anyways to get the disputed claims, to get the pounces, to get what I need, you know, to grab the milks when you need them. Man, milks on, I mean, just milking Wyman, turn 1, boom, right? Making you have to play around getting Winterfell, hit into... Now, here's the thing, this deck only runs 1 Seized by the Guard. I almost want 2.
2 wouldn't be good.
Yeah, I mean, the only way to dig it back out is with Kevin.
Yeah, who's also a 1-of.
Right, it's a 1-of Kevin. And I don't know, I just feel like...
Would you rather have that second seized or a first Isle of Ravens, as we had talked about?
Or a first Boy King, right? Yeah, it's...
I could almost see the Widow's Wheel coming out and the Isle of Ravens coming in.
Yeah, Widow's Wheel seems kind of like a little niche addition. And you know what, one thing I noticed looking at it and playing it now, I liked the tiered attachment approach in your Stark one, but Nico's are all 1, right? They're all 1, all like 17 attachments.
Yeah.
They're all 1 cost, so it's everything swaps for everything, and everything is cheap. It may be a large part of why it doesn't hurt the curve at all, right? Why it really just allows it to go. I wonder what an expensive attachment version would do. Huh? I wonder.
Maybe we'll have to play.
Yeah. All right. Well, this was the end of our long-awaited return to the Jank tank. So I want to thank Buzz for joining me for this special episode, and hopefully we'll be able to give you guys a little bit more content as the summer goes on, and as, I mean, every pack is just loaded with Jank, it feels like these days, and so maybe we'll
totally does.
we'll dig through these new packs and hopefully bring you guys some more content that you know and love, because I know we do have some Jank tank fans out there. So yeah.
Shout out to all 3 of you.
Thanks, guys.
It's a shabby show.